Smokey Robinson, born William Robinson Jr. on February 19, 1940 in Detroit, Michigan, is a legendary figure whose voice defined the sound of Motown. Growing up in the northern part of Detroit, Smokey's world was simple but filled with love and music. Raised by his hardworking mother, Flossie, and an often absent father, he experienced both the stability and the challenges of family life. His father's struggles with stable employment left Smokey with a longing for a more solid presence, and this void would later shape much of his personal and professional life. While his father drifted in and out of his life, Smokey found solace in music, listening to artists like Jackie Wilson and Nolan Strong, whose harmonies inspired him to start writing his own songs. This passion would become his life's purpose, despite not excelling academically. The formation of the Miracles and meeting Berry Gordy. As a teenager, Smokey formed his first group, the Five Chimes, which later evolved into the Miracles. During this period, he began writing songs obsessively, building his identity and honing his craft. It was in 1957 that Smokey's life took a dramatic turn. He met Berry Gordy, a man whose understanding of the music business would help guide Smokey toward his future success. Gordy saw potential in Smokey's raw talent and extensive songbook, and they soon formed a partnership that would change the face of American music. The release of Shop Around in 1960, the first million seller for Motown, marked the beginning of an era for Smokey and his band. By 1960, Smokey Robinson wasn't just a local talent. He had become an integral part of the Motown sound. The growth of Motown and Smokey's expanding role. Smokey Robinson's role in Motown expanded rapidly. By the mid-1960s, he wasn't just performing. He was writing and producing for other Motown artists, helping to shape the sound of the label. His gentle yet poetic songwriting became the backbone of Motown's emotional appeal, with songs that resonated deeply with audiences around the world. As Motown's success soared, so did Smokey's. He was promoted to vice president of Motown at just 30 years old, a role that required him to balance his duties as an artist, writer, producer, and executive. In addition to his work with the Miracles, he wrote for legendary acts like The Temptations, Marvin Gaye, and Mary Wells, cementing his place in music history. However, the pressure of leadership, coupled with the demand for constant innovation, began to weigh heavily on Smokey's shoulders. Personal struggles and fame's toll on relationships. Smokey's personal life mirrored the pressures of his professional success. He married Claudette Rogers, a fellow member of the Miracles, in 1959. Their relationship was one of the most admired in the Motown family, built on shared ambitions and a love for music. But the relentless touring schedule, combined with Claudette's struggles with multiple miscarriages, put a strain on their marriage. The physical demands of the road often left little time for healing and emotional connection. Smokey, ever the professional, did his best to balance his family life with his responsibilities at Motown. But the pressures were mounting. Despite their challenges, Smokey and Claudette remained together for many years. But the weight of fame and personal loss began to erode the foundation of their relationship, which eventually led to their separation in the 1980s. A new chapter and second marriage. After his divorce from Claudette in 1986, Smokey Robinson found solace in his music, but also in his personal life. In 2002, he remarried Frances Gladney, a longtime friend and interior designer. Their relationship was more private than his previous marriage, and they focused on living a quieter life away from the public eye. Smokey's second marriage provided him with the stability and emotional support he had long sought. Together, they lived a life far removed from the frenetic pace of his earlier years. Smokey's music continued to evolve, but by now, he had embraced a different kind of fame. one that allowed him to prioritize his personal well-being and family. However, even as he settled into this new phase of life, his past continued to cast a long shadow, a dark allegation and legal battles. In 2025, Smokey Robinson's decades-long career was abruptly interrupted by a legal case that rocked his public image. 4 former housekeepers filed a lawsuit accusing him of intimate misconduct and labor violations, alleging that the abuses spanned over several years. The allegations, which included accusations of forced acts, battery, and gender-based violence, painted a troubling picture of a man many had long admired for his kindness and soft-spoken demeanor. The suit also included claims against his wife, Frances, accusing her of complicity in creating a hostile work environment. This lawsuit escalated into a criminal investigation, turning what began as a civil suit into a matter of public and legal scrutiny. Smokey and his wife denied the allegations, filing a countersuit for defamation and extortion. The legal battle, which continued to evolve, cast a shadow over Smokey's once unblemished reputation and forced the public to confront the complexities of his legacy. A legacy under scrutiny. As the legal case unfolded, Smokey Robinson's legacy stood at a crossroads. The allegations made against him shook the foundation of the image he had carefully cultivated over decades as the gentle voice of love and soul. The public's perception of Smokey, once a man who had transcended fame through his music and charitable efforts, was now being challenged. Fans and critics alike were forced to reckon with the possibility that even the most beloved icons can harbor deeply hidden flaws. Whether Smokey is able to clear his name in the courts remains to be seen. But what is certain is that the lawsuits have raised important questions about how we view and celebrate public figures. For now, Smokey Robinson's legacy is marked by both his undeniable contribution to music and the complexities that have emerged in his later years. Final thoughts. The price of fame. Smokey Robinson's life is a testament to the complexities of fame. From his early days as a talented young singer in Detroit to his rise as one of Motown's greatest stars, Smokey's career was built on passion, dedication, and artistry. Yet, behind the public persona of a soft-spoken, loving artist lay a man who, like many others, struggled with personal demons. His battles with addiction, the pressures of fame, and the accusations that have surfaced in recent years show that even icons are not immune to the darker sides of life. Smokey's story is a reminder that the human experience is often far more complicated than the image we project, and it challenges us to rethink how we engage with and celebrate the lives of those we admire.